Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be continuing to part 2 of my fertility, or I don't even know what to call this video, but whatever I said in the title, that's what we'll be continuing today for part 2. So on part 1 I ended saying I had a cycle in this year, April 2020, and I did, but I forgot to mention that in March 2020 this year, I had spotted for 2 days, the 21st and 22nd, and then in April 2020, I had a cycle from April 8th through the 12th. Then nothing since then. So I usually have my annual exam the month of my birthday, so my birthday's in June. This year I also turned 30, so in June, beginning of June, I had my annual exam, and since my last exam last year, my doctor, he had retired. So I knew I had to find a different doctor within that practice to consult with. So with all of the madness going on this year, a lot of people has been canceling appointments and things has been out of whack. But fortunately for me, I was able to get my my annual exam. Somehow somebody canceled and I was able to get in. So instead of seeing a physician or OB or GYN, I saw a nurse practitioner who's happened to be African American as well. And I came into the doctor's office this June 2020 and fill out the paperwork like you usually do. You see a physician's assistant who give you your blood, does your vitals, ask you some questions regarding your cycle. And I told her this is what happened this year. Since then I hadn't had a cycle. I don't know how long. And she was like, that's odd, da 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 da. I'll make sure I pass this information forward to your nurse practitioner for today. And that's what happened. So my nurse practitioner came in and she came right in and started talking about my cycle right away. Sorry if you hear the phone in the background, but yeah, she came right in and started discussing my cycle, asked me questions. I gave her all the information I gave you in the previous video, and even more in depth about like my sexual history and all that stuff. She asked, have I ever been pregnant? I told her no, never had no pregnancies, no miscarriages, nothing like that. She said, well, that's a bit odd as well. So the first thing she said was she think that I had polycystic ovarian syndrome. I'll put it up here in the top somewhere. And I was like, well, can't recall that being mentioned to me in the previous or with my previous doctor. And she went on to explain what it was and that it can come in different forms. It could be a chemical imbalance with your hormone and your sugar levels, and it could be that along with some people that do not have those issues significantly, but a lot of people also have the cysts on their ovaries. She told me more about that and ways to treat it, and that she will give me a blood workup to confirm that that's what it is, and if not, then we'll move on to see what else it could be. So we proceeded with my annual checkup or annual exam. Everything looked fine. That was great. She gave me my script to go get my lab work done, and I don't know what I was doing, but I kind of flaked on that, and I took about a week or two to do that. And I went to go get the blood work done because only 2 weeks later, the blood work came back, and she was on vacation. So I had to wait about a week or so to get the results back with that. So the beginning of July 2020, I was formally diagnosed with PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. I hope I'm saying that right. But yes, so I was formally diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome. And basically for me, she told me that for these years, probably I've had this imbalance regarding my hormones and my sugar. I also have a theory on why my cycle started all of a sudden between March and April. I was going through some changes at work, and actually due to what's going on right now, you know, the health stuff that's going on worldwide right now, I actually lost my job in April, which I think it has something to do with my period restarting, because I was very, very stressed and a little depressed about the whole situation. So yeah, I think that's probably why my cycle started back up in April, because of all the stress that I was going through from March to April. So that's just my theory. I'm not sure if that's why, but yeah, I just wanted to throw that in there. Okay, so what was I saying? So yes, July 2020, I was formally diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS. That's what I'll be saying what it is going forward, PCOS. She told me that basically, probably throughout the time that I stopped having the cycle is probably when it was starting to formulate within my body. It can get worse over time if left untreated. My main symptoms were the halt of your cycle or your period and ovulation. So missed periods or no periods at all, which what I got. I also had significantly gained weight throughout the years, and it was hard to get the weight off. What else? What was another major symptom? If I can think of anything else, I'll put it on one of these sides that I was experiencing. I'll put on the screen, as well as mild to extreme hair growth. So I would say mine is definitely on the milder side, because I know some people who have it more on the heavier side. I haven't met anybody with extreme cases, but I know that there are people out there who, have extreme cases where they may have full hair on their face, mustache. I don't have any mustache. I do not have a mustache, but I do have a few hairs that grow on my chin and my neck, and then a few that grow on my chest area. And I just thought that it was always the hormones and the birth control that may have done it, but those are symptoms of PCOS. So, treatment plan. Or let me go back and let's see, how do I feel about this whole thing? So once she told me this, or once we even started discussing all this in the office back in June, I was like, like, I loved my doctor before, don't get me wrong, he was amazing, but the care and urgency I've received from my new physician was totally different from my past. And I appreciate her coming in and talking with me and not jumping straight to the exam, I guess you can say. It was something to process. I discussed it with a friend of mine, my best friend, and we talked about it. I also discussed it with my mom and sister and my boyfriend, and I'm like, this is what I'm going through right now. I started doing my own research and seeing that it was a lack of information on my favorite search engine, which is YouTube. So I looked on here and I'm like, there is a lot of women out here who has talked about it, but I don't see a lot of information, women talking about it, especially women of color, and it affects a lot of women of color, ironically enough. It affects a lot of women in general. So I didn't see a lot of videos discussing this topic, and not a lot within the past few years as well. So that's why I decided to start documenting my journey so it can help somebody in the future or current. So this has been a bit overwhelming with everything else that's going on this year, knowing that I do have fertility issues. This is considered a fertility problem, and she also expressed that it's better to do this now and figure this out now, because I am 30, and if I'm looking forward to have children within the coming years, that we need to nip this in the bud. Also, if this was left untreated, that this could lead to other abnormalities in the future, one being cancer. So it was best that we figure this all out right now and not let this go untreated. So yeah, I've been praying on it, doing my research and trying through that time when she was trying to formulate a plan on how we should treat this. I was doing my research as well, and that leads me to my treatment plan. So yeah, we decided that the best treatment to start off with would be metformin. So metformin is commonly used with people, with people who have diabetes. Because my case is more of a hormonal and sugar imbalance, we found that would be the best treatment for me. So we are starting at 500 milligrams a day for the next 3 months, 90 days, and as well as a diet change. So if, from my understanding or my research, a lot of people say in general to combat PCOS is if you want to do it without medicine, you should change your diet. You should go on a low carb, low sugar, no dairy diet. And that will kind of help the sugar and hormone levels balance each other. So that's what I'm going to do. But I'm also going to supplement with the metformin for 500 milligrams a day for the next 90 days. I know it's going to be hard to change my diet because it's hard to change things that you've been doing forever and ever. So once I get in a routine of doing it, I know I'll be fine, but I'm comfortable enough. I mean, I am a bit nervous to taking the medicine, I'm not going to lie. I hear some of the side effects are not that great, but I'm trying to look past that and just do the best that I can with this. And I don't know. Let me say this. I'm not preventing pregnancy, so I don't know if this is going to be a TTC journey, trying to conceive journey. Because technically I'm not trying to conceive, but I'm not preventing either. But I'm not actively trying. I'm just trying to regulate my body overall, lose the weight, and restart my my cycle and my my cycle and my ovulation. That is the goal with this right now, to even see if I'm ovulating, and then in the future we may have to increase the metformin and then possibly take other measures regarding my cycle to see if it doesn't regulate itself. And within the year, if I don't have monthly cycles, then we will be moving forward into seeing some other measures. Hopefully everything regulates itself within the year. And that's what I'm hoping and praying for. So that's the goal with this. Not necessarily trying to conceive as of now. It's just trying to figure out what my body is doing and getting it back to normal. And yeah, that's my treatment plan. So changing diet, I will be changing to I wouldn't say keto, more so paleo, but I'm not going to name it. I'm going to just be changing my overall eating. I'm not going to stifle myself, or that's not the word I want to use. I'm not going to restrict myself. If it's a weekend that I want to go out and get some drinks and like appetizers, then I will do that. But for the most part, Monday through Friday, I'm going to adhere to this diet. I don't like saying diet, to this change of life. So I will be trying to have a low carb, low fat, no sugar, or low sugar, I would say, and no dairy diet. As of now, we do eat fast food a lot, more often than we probably should. We don't fry foods that much, but we use our air fryer, and some of the food that we put in there is processed and already has fats and chemicals in it. So we're going to try to eliminate that. Eliminate juice, so no more ginger ale, which is my favorite, and no more buying juice, which we don't do that often, but sometimes we have Snapples in the house. As well as low dairy, which won't be hard for me because I don't really eat dairy unless it's on pizzas and burgers, which I shouldn't be having that much of anyway. What else? Drinking way more water and eliminating or lowering my carb intake. So that will be in a separate video, like maybe like a what I eat in a day. I'm not extremely sure, but I do know that I will be slowly lowering my intake. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to be like cold turkey, but it's something I would have to be accustomed to. But to wrap it up, I will be starting Metformin this August 2020. I'll be taking 500 milligrams a day for the next 3 months, 90 days. And I will be doing that along with a diet change. So primarily low carb, low sugar, and low to no dairy. And yeah, I will be documenting this week by week to let you guys know how it's going, and to be a support to you guys, and also document it for myself so I can have something to look to and refer to in the future, whether it's when I do conceive one day, or to talk over with my doctor. At least I have this documentation, and also of course to help you guys who are watching this as well. So yeah, that's what will be going on. I will be updating you weekly on my Metformin for PCOS, and some weeks may be the same, so I might do it bi-weekly instead of weekly. But for right now, I probably start for the first month. I probably do weekly updates, and then after that, I probably do bi-weekly updates. So I wanted to just thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Comment below on any comments or encouragement you have for me or one another. Follow me on Instagram. And if you have any questions that you feel is too personal, you don't want to comment, make sure you DM me on there. And I just want to wish you all well with your journeys, and I'm rooting for you all. We're all here to encourage each other, so always remain positive. Nothing but positivity in the comments below, and make sure you guys stay safe during this time, because 2020 has been a heck of a year for all of us. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on the next video, which may be my week 1 with PCOS week 1 with Metformin for PCOS. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Bye.